Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the GSMC Basketball Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Sports Network. As always, I'm your host, Mayor Fatemi. We got a packed show lined up for you guys today. Of course, we had the Timberwolves and Los Angeles Lakers square off last night for a massive Game 2. If the Lakers dropped that game, they would be down 2-0 going back to Minnesota, and honestly, going down 2-0 on your home floor, going on the road to possibly, if you split that series on the road, you come back 3-1. If you can win both those games, you're tied 2-2. It's just a tough spot to be in overall. So it was a good win for the Lakers to come back and tie this series up at 1-1 apiece. So we'll recap that game to start the show. From there, we're going to take a look at the Indiana Pacers and Milwaukee Bucks series. Damian Lillard came back for the Milwaukee Bucks last night. Had a little bit of a tough performance, a tough shooting night for him. Honestly, more of what we expected coming off of his blood clot injury. Not really seeing very much contact sport, not really doing too much while on the IR shelf, but he's officially back. So we always know what Damian Lillard brings to the table. But the Indiana Pacers taking this one to go up in the series 2-0. We'll recap that series as well. From there, we're going to preview the Warriors-Rockets series. They have Game 2 tonight. As well as the Orlando Magic Celtics series without Jason Tatum in the lineup. And then to close out the show, we'll recap the Memphis Grizzlies Oklahoma City Thunder game last night, as well as preview the rest of the games for tonight's slate. It's not as much of a packed slate as it has been the last couple nights, but of course, it's always playoff basketball. We always love to talk about it and love to watch it. But before I go any further, I'd like to remind you guys to please like and follow the show for more GSMC Sports Network content. Also, we get a number of questions from viewers that come in during the show. So to ensure that your question gets read on air, I ask that you use the tips and donations link at gsmcpodcast.net. This puts your question at the top of the list so I see it, and it also really helps out the show. Again, the link is gsmcpodcast.net for all your questions and comments. But getting straight into it here, we're going to talk a lot about the Lakers to start off the show. They had a crucial game last night against the Minnesota Timberwolves, in a game that they honestly dominated from start to finish. A game that they needed to dominate start to finish, and they did just that. Luka Dončić finishing with 31 points in this one, 12 rebounds, almost a triple-double with 9 assists. LeBron James with a double-double, 21 points and 11 rebounds. That's more of what we expect from him. Austin Reaves with 16 points. That was the big three for the Lakers. Now, before I get into the rest of the team, I want to remind you guys that last night, or in Game 1 on Saturday night, the Los Angeles Lakers bench and their defense were the two biggest issues for this game. The Minnesota Timberwolves shot over 50% from three-point range, with a lot of their production coming from Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, Mike Conley, a bunch of role players that got hot down the stretch and took over the game, along with, of course, Anthony Edwards. In this one, while the Lakers bench didn't have a great game. Rui Hachimura with 11 points, Dorian Finney-Smith with 7 points. Gabe Vincent with a couple massive threes down the stretch, especially in the first quarter. In the first half, he played nice. In the second half, of course, what you need him to do is come in randomly and hit some shots off the bench. That's what you need from a Gabe Vincent. But the Timberwolves bench specifically didn't have their best game. Naz Reid only 9 points. Jaden McDaniels only 8 points. Mike Conley 0 points. He was like, not only did the Timberwolves not shoot well, but major props to the Lakers defense. The Lakers defense were clogging the lanes, giving the Timberwolves offense trouble all over the place. From Julius Randle turning the ball over. He was trying to be very ball dominant in this one. Not sure why, but he shot 9 of 17, 2 for 4 from 3-point range. Not his greatest performance, as well as Anthony Edwards, only 2 for 8 from 3-point range. But this is, like I mentioned, this is more about the Lakers defense just clogging the lanes for the Timberwolves, not being able to just throwing a wrench in their offense. really is the only way to describe it. Um, and then on the other side, hitting timely shots, never letting Minnesota get close. A big part of the Lakers' issues this season have been the third quarter, and as a watcher myself, as I was watching it, I could only think at halftime, oh, it's the third quarter. Here we go again. They're gonna blow another. They were up by 20 points going into halftime. I just had a bad feeling. Oh, they're gonna blow another 20-point lead again. No lead is safe with the Lakers. We've seen them blow leads in the third quarter, but no, they did the opposite. The Timberwolves did try to come back. They tried to go on a run early in the quarter, bring the lead down to about 15 points, or probably closer to 12 points. But in the end, it was the play of Luka Dončić and LeBron James down the stretch to put this game away. Luka, of course, continued to grow into that Lakers role, continuing to grow into that number one option, that superstar player that we remember him to be from Dallas. Trying to transfer over those talents and skills over to the Lakers uniform. And it's been really tough for him lately, especially in the regular season. It was very tough. We saw him struggle specifically for shooting. He did not shoot the ball, especially down the stretch of the regular season. We saw him being very ball dominant in the regular season. He was just struggling to shoot the ball. Very, very much the same situation here, but shooting much better, much more efficiently. Um, but it's a good sign to see for the Lakers overall, and this series will go back to Minnesota 1-1 apiece. This series is just going to come down to defense. I think this series is truly going to come down to the star players, how Anthony Edwards and the role players around Anthony Edwards show up. The Julius Randles of the world, the Naz Reeds, the Jaden McDaniels, the Mike Conleys, the Rudy Goberts of the world. All these guys that you not expect too much from, but Nickeil Alexander-Walker, a big bench piece that can go off anytime for 20 points whenever if he can when he gets hot from 3-point range. That's what you need from if you're a Timberwolves fan. The Timberwolves need to just put their head down, be able to shoot the ball, if they can shoot the ball and defend, they can win this series, I think. If they can shoot the ball well and efficiently and play strong defense on the Lakers are not going to be able to win a shootout with this team. They're not going to be able to win a shootout with any team. Maybe the Houston Rockets or the Memphis Grizzlies that's about where that list stops. Not even the Nuggets. The Grizzlies and the Rockets are the only two that I could think of the Lakers being able to be competitive with in a shootout. Any other team, they're just not deep enough. You can't expect Luka to hit every shot. I know Kawhi Leonard, I'm going to use this as an example. Kawhi Leonard shot 15 of 19, but he missed 3 shots from 3-point range. He's not Steph Curry. He's not Klay Thompson. You just can't. The Lakers just are not deep enough to keep up in a shootout. They have to make the game scrappy. They have to throw a wrench in the Timberwolves' plans. They have to take momentum early. That was crucial for them last night. Getting to an early lead in the first quarter, getting to their spots, making sure they took control of the game early on. That is exactly what the Lakers need to do if they want to be successful in this series. If they want to be successful in Minnesota, because Minnesota is going to be ready for them. Those fans in Minnesota are going to be ready. Anthony Edwards is going to be ready. Naz Reid, Jaden McDaniels, the role players are going to be ready. Julius Randle, this is his first time with the Timberwolves. That's the only reason I say we'll see about him, how he's going to react. But Luka Dončić is going to have to show up. Honestly, I would not be shocked if we see a Luka Dončić 40-point game in either Game 3 or Game 4. Because we've seen the 30-pointers. We know Luka Dončić can average 25, 10, and 5 or 25, 10, and 8 in his sleep. We know he can. We've seen it time and time again. But we haven't seen take over Luka. Like, take over. Like, he is the guy. He is just put the ball in his hands and have him go get a shot. You see it early on when teams are getting momentum. You see it in spurts when the team needs to get a bucket down the stretch. But you don't see it for stretches at a time, like 3, 4, 5 baskets in a row, where Luka just goes to work, gets into the hole, gets the pick and pop, draws the double team, kicks it out to the corner. You haven't seen that. And the reason why you haven't seen that very much is the threats of LeBron James and Austin Reaves, especially when they're on the floor, all three of them together. You just can't double Luka like that if you have the other two on the floor. It's beyond difficult to plan for and scheme for. But yeah, I don't know. Game 3 of this series is going to be crucial. I think whoever wins Game 3, I don't want to say whoever wins Game 3 is going to win the series because there's so much game left. But if you can, whoever wins Game 3 is going to set the they're going to set the standard for the in terms of momentum. Who has momentum? Who has the confidence? Who has more confidence in general? And if it's the Timberwolves, obviously if Timberwolves can win Game 3, Game 4 becomes even more crucial for the Lakers. If the Lakers win Game 3, Game 4 becomes crucial for the Timberwolves. If the Lakers win both games in Minnesota, this series ends in 5 games. This series goes back to Los Angeles and it's over. I don't think the Lakers are going to win 3 in a row, especially with how the Timberwolves played in Game 1. It was just too much of a disparity. I know they shot 50%, and I know the Lakers had a lot of turnovers, but I know the Lakers that we saw in Game 1 is not the Lakers that we saw in Game 2. They pretty much flipped the switch offensively, or more defensively, I'd say. So that's my take on it. If the Lakers can win Game 3, this series ends in 5 if they win 3 and 4. If the Lakers win Game 3, I think the series ends in 6 in LA. If Minnesota wins Game 3, I wouldn't be shocked. Going into Game 4 is going to be even more massive. And if that's the question. If the Lakers can win Game 3, I think they take control of this series. Game 4, they have more confidence in themselves. It becomes much more must-win absolutely for the Minnesota Timberwolves if they lose Game 3. But yeah, that's my take on it right now. There's a lot of ifs, buts, and maybes. What's going to look like who wins this, if they win that, blah, blah, blah. But we just got to let these playoffs pan out because honestly, what's the point of looking so deep into them if they're just so unbelievable that regardless of how it pans out, it's not going to be bad. So, yeah, I believe this series, Game 3 of this series is on Friday. I'm trying to find that right now. But yeah, this series switches gears back over to Minnesota for that Game 3. I'm going to take a short break. When we come back, we're going to take a look at Indiana Pacers basketball against the Milwaukee Bucks. A massive series in the Eastern Conference, one of the more premier series, one of the more eyeballs, more people watching it because of how close it is to the 4-5 seed matchup. Damian Lillard returning for the Milwaukee Bucks. Didn't really matter, but we're gonna talk about his return, talk about how the Pacers played in that game, how both teams played overall, the keys for the Pacers to win that game, and we'll move forward from there. Also, I just found out Lakers Timberwolves Game 3 is on Friday. I'm gonna take a short break. When we come back, we're gonna take a look at Indiana Pacers, Milwaukee Bucks basketball. Be right back, guys.